What's up, everybody? It's your girl Chanté, back with another episode of Chatting with Chanté. How in the world are y'all doing? Me, I am doing fabulous. So today is Monday when I'm recording this, and it is the beginning of a very busy yet fun week. So I'm trying to, okay, keep it simmered down. But I wanted to get some videos out for you guys, so y'all might see the same outfit or y'all might see me switch it up. I'm not really sure, okay, depending on how the wind blows me. But I knew I wanted to get this particular video out for you all, okay, a movie review. It's been a good minute since I've done a movie review for you all. I've done 2 on my channel and y'all really seem to like them, and I really enjoy watching them. And but the thing with me is when it comes to, like, especially new movies, because I watch movies all day, but they be old movies, like my favorites, some of the classics, and I'm like, I don't know if people want to hear about me talking about movies from the 90s or movies that's been out, you know what I'm saying? And by the time I do watch these new shows and new movies, I just feel like it's old news by then. But I can still talk about my favorite movies and things like that. Like, I think I want to start doing that, like with the movies and stuff, because there's some movies where when I watched it at one age, I thought one way, but now that I'm 26, I have a different opinion, or my opinion might still be the same. So let me know if y'all want me to do that, because I have a whole list of movies we can do that for, right? And revisit some of the classics and stuff like that. So I think that'll be fun. So if y'all want to hear my opinions and my 2 cents about those movies and TV shows, we can most definitely do that. But this movie here is very new, okay? It just came out this year. And what month? I'm not sure, but it's a new movie. So it is End of the Road, starring Ludacris and Queen Latifah and some amazing cast members and actors and actresses. So I'm going to talk about it in a very vague and general manner, so that way people who haven't watched the movie can get a an idea of what the movie's about without me spoiling it. And then before I get into the actual in-depth talkative part of it, where I discuss some points and my views on the movie, I'll be sure to give that disclaimer, like, hey, I'm gonna spoil it, so this is your time to go, right? So before I get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when I drop a video. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, prop your feet up, and let's get it, let's go. So like I said, I'm starting with a very vague overview of the movie. So basically, you have a family of 4. You have Queen Latifah, who's playing Brenda, and that's my grandma name, period. But she's playing Brenda, okay? She's now widowed because her husband has passed away, and she is left with her 2 children. And they were living in this big, beautiful home and things like that. And now, because of financial reasons and things like that, it's causing them to have to move. I believe they're traveling cross country to Texas, right? So days long road trip to a new start in their lives, right? So it's taking a toll on all of them. She's missing her husband, of course, and she's having to figure out how she's going to support her kids and things like that. Her daughter, I believe her name is Kelly. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. But her daughter, she's the oldest. She's a teenager. She has a little boyfriend that she has to leave. She's real sarcastic, real smart, flip at the lip, And then her son, who is the youngest, of course, he's missing his father. The daughter's missing him as well, of course. But, it's really taking a hit on him as well. He does not want to leave at all, and none of them want to leave, but it's something that they have to do, right? And then we get introduced to Ludacris, who plays Brenda's brother. He's like the fun uncle, he's smoking the weed, he's cussing, he's the one, if we gotta fight, let's do it. He's the one that you want to keep around for entertainment purposes, but he might get you into some trouble, okay? Keep that in mind. So as they are heading to start their new lives, it's like it takes place, majority of the time on the road, but they come into these interferences, these obstacles with these people and stuff like that. And one of these results in them accidentally becoming involved in this murder scene, this crime scene. There's a whole bunch of money involved. There's a killer on the loose who's trying to get their money or get the money, and they are just trying to survive because they did not come into this whole situation trying to get caught up in no mess, but they accidentally, unintentionally get caught up in this, okay? So they have to, survive and basically fight for their lives. So that's the gist of the movie, okay? I don't know if I did a great vague explanation, because I like to talk like in detail, but I know it's a fairly new movie, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So again, if you haven't watched the movie, then it's on Netflix. I would recommend you watching it. I can say this because this ain't a spoiler, but a lot of people, I saw a lot of different reviews on it. Now, I'm not someone who lets people's reviews persuade me into or not watching something, I like to form my own opinion about something. So I did see a lot of, I don't want to say negative reviews, but I saw a lot of, oh, this movie was just okay, it wasn't the best. And, you know, then I saw some other ones that, oh, this was a really good movie, blah, blah, blah. I can personally say for me, it kept my attention. There wasn't a part where I was like, this is boring, or, the acting sucks. No. But of course, when you have, you know, an actress as well-rounded as Queen Latifah, you know, of course, throughout her 30 plus year career, however long, of course she has more classic roles in movies and things like that that we can place above this one. But I'm not going to say, oh, this was the worst movie ever. No. I mean, you know, again, it kept my attention, and I'm someone, if I get bored easily, I'll turn it off. I'll get on my phone and not know what's going on. But it was interesting enough to keep my attention. It was interesting enough for me to want to see, you know, how everything was going to unfold. And also, when you think about it, if you watch the movie, you kind of think about it, I guess you can say it's predictable or whatever. But with these type of movies where, you know, you're trying to figure out who's doing what or what's going on, I don't like to go into it, you know, playing detective. Like, no, that ruins the entire experience for me. I don't want to go into it trying to find context clues and stuff like that. I want to go into it, no expectations, no sense of it at all. So that way, when things start to unfold and you know, start to unravel, it's like, oh snap, okay. Now when they did the reveal or whatever, I was like, oh, okay, you know, but you know, it wasn't like a jaw-dropping moment, but it wasn't like, oh, we knew that. At least for me, okay? At least for me. So I would recommend you watch it. I mean, I don't think it's a movie to take too seriously. Again, it's interesting enough to keep your attention if you let it, but I can only let you form your own opinion. I can only talk about my opinion. So that's the vague overview of the movie. So again, if you want to go watch it and you haven't watched it yet, this is your sign to stop, okay? If you haven't watched it and you keep on watching it, and I might slip up and say, you know, who's the person and what's going on, then don't get mad at me, because I'm giving you all this waving around like, okay, if you don't want spoilers, stop it now. Stop it now. We at a little over 7 minutes. Stop it now. Okay, now that you got the brief overview. So I'm going to give y'all 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So if you're still here, I take it you don't care about spoilers, or you've watched the movie, or you don't plan on watching the movie. I don't know. So, child, there's not too much to really spoil though, just because, you know, all the ish doesn't happen until the little circumstance. But child, this movie was, again, and when you think of in regards to like Queen Latifah's career and stuff like that, is this going to be like top 5? No, not really. But am I gonna say it's the worst movie ever made? No. I enjoyed all their acting in this. You know, the children. Well, you know what? Let me just be honest, okay? Let me just be honest. The children got on my nerves, okay? Right when ish was hitting the fan and lives were at stake, yeah, they were getting on my nerves. Actually, the entire family. And I made a Facebook post about this. Yeah, they're getting on my nerves just because we're doing too much standing around. We're doing too much screaming. We're doing too much back talk. We're doing stupid stuff. And there's people literally on your tails, okay? We hooping and hollering. For what? What are we doing, babies? The children started to get on my nerves. That last 25, 30 minutes, you know, when things was really getting intense and it was like either we gonna die or we gonna make it, and we see the rolling credits. Yeah, them babies got on my nerves. Not the actual actors, but the characters. The children were getting on my nervous system. They were getting on my nerves. And, oh gosh, like, it ain't nothing worse when you know there's a killer on the loose. And the characters, they just think they got time to chill and they talking. It was one point when a little boy in Ludacris was like, oh, I want you to go to school and make me proud. Sir, y'all's car is not working right now. There's killers right here waiting for y'all to slip up so they can find you. And y'all talking about the future plans. We need to be smarter than this. Please, I'm going to make you proud. How if the kidnappers get y'all? Like, sir. So, you know, they on their way to, you know, they're making their stops and stuff like that, heading to Texas. And there's this one point when they get to now mind you, we all up in the South, okay? We all up in the South. A black family traveling through the depths of the South and deserts and stuff like that. You know it's bound to be some racial controversy going on up in there. But anyway, it's one point when they stop at a gas station and stuff like that. And the guy who's checking out Brenda and stuff like that, he's like, so y'all plan on staying here? Because Listen, she's like, y'all got a problem with that? He's like, I ain't got a problem, but look around. Look at your surroundings, sis. Look at your surroundings. So they getting their gas and whatnot, and there's these two, white fellas. Baby, this scene here. Baby, this scene right here. So, her teenage daughter, she's cute or whatever. So she's standing there on her phone, minding her business. The two white guys, they're checking her out. They're catcalling, whistling, and stuff like that. Instead of just ignoring them and getting in the car, what does baby girl do? She's sticking up her middle finger and things like that. And I was like, there's a time and place for everything, okay? There's a time and place in everything. Y'all the only black people in this area. Not to sound a certain way, but you can just look at your surroundings and the people that's right here. They ain't gonna really take that lightly. So they drive off. She thinking she's hot stuff. Baby, they truck pop up in the rearview mirror because they chasing and they end up hitting the back of their truck multiple times to scare them. They cussing out the girl. The family don't know what's going on. And she's like, oh, well, I kind of gave them the middle finger because, they looking at her like, do you realize where we are? If you would get off that phone, see, I'm sounding like an auntie. I'm only 26. I mean, you can be 26 and auntie. But, I'm sounding like an auntie. Like, if you would have got off that phone, then we wouldn't be in this mess. Like, girl. So they stop, the white guys, they stop in front of, Brenda and them car. And, of course, Ludacris, like, I'm finna handle this. Like, they ain't finna scare us, blah, blah, blah. And Brenda's like, nah, because you a hothead. And if you start some stuff, they gonna kill us. And then what's gonna happen? Exactly. So she's like, let me handle this. She go out there and she's like, please just move your truck. We're just trying to, journey our way through all this, please. So the white guys are all smug, like, oh, we not doing nothing until we get an apology. And right then and there, I knew where this was going, child. I knew. You could just tell. You could taste it. I knew where this was going. And she knew, too. So she was like, well, I'm sorry for, what my daughter did and whatnot. Okay, so I'm sorry. And then they, put it on her. Oh, apologize for, putting our white lives in danger. I said, oh, And she knew this was literally a matter of life and death. I mean, they made sure to show her the gun and stuff like that. Like, this movie was real racial. Like, this, if we just want to boil it down, this was real hectic and racial, okay? But, yeah, so she ends up saying it again, not against her will, but against her will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry for putting your white lives in danger. Stuff like that. They drive off. We don't see them no more. But, child, I could have kicked the teenage daughter. Girl, next time you want to put one of your scraggly little fingers up, don't do it. It's like we ain't in the hood. We ain't amongst our people, okay? We is looking real strange in these deserts, okay? I need you to shut up. Why was you outside the car anyway? Get in the car. Am I getting mad? See, anyway. And then let's get to the meat and potatoes of it all, child. Because, again, there's not too much to talk about because, things don't happen until they happen. But basically, they get into this motel, all right? Things are good. They're almost to where they need to be. And next door, they're hearing all this, ruffling around, bumping, thumping. And then they hear gunshots. Now, see, me, I hear a gunshot. That's just the Lord telling me I have to go. I ain't got to check out the scene. See, this is where it wouldn't have been me. You hear a gunshot. Oh, and you got kids involved. We ain't got time to scope out the scene because whatever they had going on ain't got nothing to do with us. So that would have been my cue. Okay, is the coast clear? Like, if we can see that this person left and stuff like that. Okay, we finna get in our little van and we finna go because, no. What we gotta stick around for? We don't know them. I'm so sorry. We can call the police on our way. There was a gunshot. Or let the front desk know something. We ain't gotta get too involved. I mean, They... they go next door to check out. They see that this guy, which, he was working for this man. Oh, so the man who's doing all this craziness is Mr. Cross, okay? We don't know who Mr. Cross is for the good chunk of the first part of the movie, okay? But he's this big, crazy person around town that people, when they hear his name, they get scared. He, got all this money. He has people that works for him to kill people and stuff like that. So he has his two guys that were, supposed to get this money and deliver it to him. Well, the guy who ended up getting shot, he was getting money hungry. He was tripping. He was like, ain't it funny how we do all the dirty work and then Mr. Cross get all the money? I don't like that. So the guy who he was working with was like, well, we can't cross Mr. Cross, okay? I ain't trying to get killed, all right? He might give us a little cut. Like, let's just bring him his money. I don't want no trouble. So, the guy who ends up getting shot, he's like, oh, you a little punk. So he shoots him. But the guy was like, okay, if you shoot me, then you should know all the consequences that come with this. But he ain't listen, so he shot him. Boom. And then, the guy who did all that, he gets found at the motel. He ends up getting got, okay? He's fighting for his life. Let me take these glasses off, y'all. He's fighting for his life because he was trying to steal Mr. Cross's money, child. And so, yeah, they go over there, Brenda and Ludacris. I love how I'm saying the character name and their real name. But Queen Latifah and Ludacris, they go next door to check out the scene because, listen, she's a nurse, and if the person's still alive, she can, get them back to health until the ambulance and them get there. I was like, Brenda, now's the time to be getting your shoes back on and go to your car. This ain't got nothing to do with you, baby. Anyway, so they go next door, they see the guy and stuff like that, and Queen Latifah's doing her nursing, and Ludacris is helping her, and then he sees this bag of money, okay, under the sink. So, he passes away. Yeah, he passes away and stuff like that. Brenda's distraught. And then they end up leaving, right? So as they're leaving, the money's gone. You want to know how the money's gone? Because Ludacris took it. Now, like I said earlier on, this family is in a financial bind, okay, with the husband/father passing away. It's really taking a hit on them and stuff like that, reasons as to why they have to relocate. So, they are looking for a fresh start and things like that. And Ludacris is like, listen, I know I'm the family F up, okay, that's what, that's why I said his antics and how he is and how he's the fun uncle, he's the carefree one, blah, blah, blah. That can end up getting him in trouble. Well, his antics and how he thinks ends up getting them in some trouble, right? So he takes the money, and this is when all hell breaks loose. Brenda's getting phone calls with these robot sounding voices. You have this amount of time to bring Mr. Cross his money before you get got. I was like, oh, honey. And so, yeah, the scene that just made me so mad, child, was the whole fact. Oh, because they were on their way. First of all, they were on their way like, okay, let's skedaddle, boom, boom. And, the police shows up and they're like, okay, we got to track down this family because when you think about it, that was kind of a spoiler. But anyway, not a spoiler, but like, foreshadowing, I guess you could say. The police chief, he calls Brenda like, hey, we need you to come back down to the scene because, Mr. Cross don't play and blah, blah, blah. And he's telling his squad, listen, we got to hunt down this family because they're going to be in a whole world of trouble and blah, blah, blah. So, she's like, I ain't trying to talk to no more police. I ain't got time for this. But, he convinces, or no, the little automated robot voice comes up like, you have to bring the money back and leave it and blah, blah, blah. So they go back to the motel. She leaves the bag of money in the room or in a room upstairs. She sends them a picture like, hey, the money's right here. Leave me alone. I don't want no issues. I'm just trying to get my family to a secluded place so we can start our new lives, child. And so meanwhile, there's somebody who works there. Does she really work there? But she's like a custodian, okay? And she sees Brenda go up there with a bag of money. And at first you're thinking, okay, she working with Mr. Cross? Like, okay, girl. But no, she steals the money. So Brenda thinking she's scot-free, like, okay, we not in this no more. I returned the money, we good. Now this little girl done took the money. They have to go back to the crime scene again just so she can see that the money's gone. And she's chasing after the girl. She end up, they driving along and stuff like that. Brenda's hitting her car to get her to stop, whooping her up and stuff like that. And then we come across all these, what you want to call them? These men. I'm gonna just say that. I don't want to say nothing rude, but these men, okay, who ain't really too fond. You can tell they ain't really too fond of black people. We just gonna call it what it is, y'all. And so they got Queen Latifah just tied up, beating her up, threatening her over all this money and blah blah blah. Now they Billy badass until they find out the money belongs to Mr. Cross. Then they want to step off. Girl, we was just playing. That's what they said. Girl, we was just playing. We was just having fun. Okay. Because it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Queen Latifah was the rabbit in this case, right? But, because, you know, their family was the one who took the money. Mr. Cross is kidnapping the little boy and stuff like that. If you don't bring me my money, I'ma shoot him. I was like, what's going on? So we go through all this just to find out that the police chief is indeed Mr. Cross. And I'm just like, okay. Like, the way they revealed it, it was cute. But I was like, okay, so he got the kids and Ludacris down in the basement. Okay, that's when they find out that he's Mr. Cross and he's crazy. Him and his wife are lunatics. Got them down in the basement. They making all this noise, scaring the dogs. I was like, Lord Jesus, what's going on? But then they come with this little makeshift thing, you know, to trap them down there and stuff like that. They get scot-free, okay? Of course, Brenda is able to get scot-free from the roughhousers and stuff like that. Baby, and again, this is when I get to the part where the kids was getting on my nerves. They was all getting on my nerves. So they all, you know, they ran out the house. You know, they think they free. Brenda, she over here. Okay, they all meet up. Okay, the family, they're all good. And they just get to talking and just yelling and stuff. Mama! Mama! Okay. So they walk off all slow like the movie finna end. Meanwhile, we got Mr. Cross and Mrs. Cross. They kicking down the door like it's finna be on and popping. And y'all can't get that far. So, of course, they head into their car, right? Of course, the car don't start because she crashed into a tree or something. Of course, you can't just make it easy. So they head into the car. They trying to hotwire the car. Lord Jesus, Mr. and Mrs. Cross, they get in their little truck, okay? Mrs. Cross driving, okay? Like, what's going on? They see the footprints, because, you know, we in dirt, so that's going to track the footprints, child. And, of course, everybody had these thick soles on the bottom of their shoes. So, they see where they was going, and then they just, you know, follow them, right? So they're like, and then they get to the part where the tracks, the footprints, you know, disappear. They can't tell which way they went. So they're like, well, which way did they go? All of a sudden, they car get to working and stuff like that. They hooping and hollering, finna throw a barbecue. Yes, the car is what? Like, where were the party streamers? These Negroes were so loud and hooping and hollering. Mr. and Mrs. Cross was like, oh, there you are. Let's go. Like, we ain't got time to celebrate. They running around the car. They twerking. I'm like, y'all really not free just yet, okay? First of all, the car is making all this noise because you keep having to crank it. And then once it lights up and everything's good, instead of getting in the car, y'all hooping and hollering as if the movie's over. Like, these people are still on your tails, child. So they driving along. Here come Mr. and Mrs. Cross right behind them. Like, child. But, of course, you know, Queen Latifah ends up, you know, tricking them and stuff like that. She had, what's the thing called? Oh, like the little flamethrower thingy. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not a bomb. Like, in a way it is. But, you know, it's like a that thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But, you know, that lands in their car and it blows them up. Okay, so Mr. and Mrs. Cross is gone, child. And so Ludacris want to take the money because they like, you know, the people that it belonged to, they dead. So, you know, we ain't got no reason to turn it into. We can't turn it into the police because the chief of police was Mr. Cross. So we might as well keep it. But she tells them to leave it alone. Okay, fine. Baby, they get to a Waffle House or IHOP, one of them little diners. Child, this was the stupidest part. I'm so sorry. Like, it was a good movie, but child, it would just have some dumb moments towards the end. So they all stressed, like, Lord Jesus, we just want to get home. We just want to forget this ever happened. All of us almost died. Like, let's just, whew, you know. Here come Ludacris pulling out stacks of money. I said, Ludacris, this is how we got into this hour and a half already, child. So they pulling out stacks of money. They looking like, huh? Brenda's mad. Like, this the reason why we was in this mess in the first place, Ludacris. And so that's when they go into the whole, well, I mean, you know, the person that it belongs to, he dead. We can't report it to the police because, you know, he was the police, a.k.a. Mr. Cross. So it's like, who we going to return it to? So she's like, okay. And this is the part where I was like, oh, I could not be a part of this family. If I would have read this in the script, nope, it's going to be revealed that I'm adopted because, nope, I wouldn't have had this thought process. Instead of, just discreetly showing the money. These Negroes putting stacks of money on the table, right? They scoot the waffles over and they putting stacks of money on the table like, yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all. We did that. They hold it up to their ear stacks. I was like, y'all do realize y'all are not the only people in this Waffle House, right? Y'all realize y'all ain't the only ones at the IHOP, huh? Y'all do realize this Huddle House breakfast spot is very much so packed, huh? I mean, just each one of them got stacks of money. They move, excuse us, they moved the syrup out the way. They do all this and got the money. Hey, y'all, yeah, we got money. We got money. I told myself I wasn't going to get annoyed when I reviewed this movie. But it was just some parts where I just knew that I would have been cussing them out. Because why y'all got the money on the table like this? The waiter's walking by like, oh, okay, ciao. Anyway, but again, it was a good movie to me. Again, it kept my attention. As you can see, there was layers to this because, it had you like, okay, are they all going to make it alive? Oh, no, why they kidnapped the little boy? Oh, Lord. But then you get annoyed with them. Oh, why is she giving him the middle finger? Why is he stealing money? Why? What is y'all doing? But in the end, I enjoyed the movie. I don't know if it's a movie that it's like, oh my goodness, I have to see it again. But also, if someone's like, I want to watch it, then cool. Or if I don't really have anything to really watch, I'll put it on. If that makes sense, it's one of those type of movies. But I enjoyed it. But if you've seen the movie, please, let me know how you enjoyed it. If you liked it, what was your favorite part? Did you see the police officer being Mr. Cross? Was that predictable to you? Did you see it coming? Did you enjoy it? And yeah, and again, if y'all want me to start doing movie reviews, whether it's like my favorite movies, classic movies, or eventually a new movie, then please let me know that as well so we can get these videos out because it's going to be on and popping, all right? But I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will catch y'all on the next video. I love y'all. Bye.